If the person in your network doesn't know the elephant, ask them if they know anyone who does. And just keep asking people in your network until you build a bridge between you and the elephant. Now, the upside of this strategy is it always works if you persist. The downside is it's time-consuming and it's tedious. The second strategy is to bag the elephant directly, which means cold calling the person or simply showing up at their office. This takes moxie, and sometimes the person respects it, and sometimes it turns them off. It's kind of a crapshoot. A safer bet is to go in the back door by getting involved with a charitable cause they're involved in or some other personal activity, sport, or hobby, as I mentioned earlier. The third strategy is transforming yourself from the hunter to the hunted. If you draw enough interest in you, your business, or your project, the elephant will begin to chase you. This is by far my all-time favorite. It's much more credible than being the hunter. So how do you do it? The best way I've ever seen by far is through public speaking. When you're in front of groups of people telling your story or talking about your business on a regular basis, you join the ranks of the hunted. 95% of the population is terrified of public speaking, and the other 5% are building empires around it. Do you see the beauty here? And I'm not talking about fee-paid professional speakers like me who speak at corporate meetings and conventions. I'm talking about business people giving free speeches in their communities and throughout their industry. These people are seen as thought leaders in their field of expertise as well as community activists. They are well respected for their ability to communicate clearly and effectively in front of an audience. Think about it. All leaders are public speakers, from politicians to professionals in every field. And the better they are on the platform, the more sought after they become. I was speaking in Europe several years ago, and after my speech, a guy came up to me and asked me to autograph the CD album he just purchased from our booth in the back of the room. I asked him his name, and when he told me, I almost went into complete shock. This guy had been on my Dream 100 for years, and I could never get to him. He would never return my calls. Now he's asking for my autograph. The hunter had suddenly become the hunted, all because of a speech. I had dinner with him the next time he was in the United States, and today he's a good friend. So what made it work? Was I any different than when I was hunting him? Not personally. My ideas were the same. The only difference was now I was a public speaker and seen as a thought leader. In his eyes, I was now credible enough to be on his list. There's nothing more powerful than public speaking when you're building a world-class network. It's the #1 business skill of the world class. The second strategy is writing. Establish yourself as an expert in your field by writing articles in your trade association publications and get them published. If you're not a good writer, take a course and learn, or hire someone who can write for you. You still dictate the ideas, and the writer puts them into readable language. Do whatever it takes to get your ideas in front of as many elephants as possible. When you do, they will begin calling and emailing you, which is your invitation to establish a relationship. Now, if you want to build your list with rocket-like acceleration, speak and write. Imagine what's possible if you employed both of these world-class strategies. The sky's the limit. That's how people build databases of tens of thousands of people. I mean, you didn't really think they were adding them one by one, did you? Of course not. Most of the people on their list are hunting them. It's a beautiful thing, isn't it? Stay with me, because when we come back, I'm going to share with you how a Hollywood legend saved her career by making a 2-minute phone call to a powerful person in her network. You will never forget this story, I promise. We'll be right back.